And the final chapter now is kind of like an epilogue called Forgetting. And these are like bookends. At the beginning of the novel is remembering, and then at the close of the novel it's forgetting, and it's back to the perspective of Whitechapel. Even though he's passed away in chapter 12, it's, I guess, jumping a little bit back in time to while he was still alive. And it's his thoughts, his ponderings, his memories. So he is remembering his son and remembering his attitude. One thing I noticed here: I do not care about your happiness. Your life is everything to me. I want to keep you alive. That is all. And I've written my notes, says that survival, life, is more important than happiness for Whitechapel. But that was not the case with Chapel, who thought the freedom was worth risking his life for. So this, I think there's a note in your analysis tables from the opening chapter. It's clearer here, and so I would place it under the chapter of forgetting. Then we realise here that Whitechapel knew about his son's love for Lydia. He hears, but he pretends that he's deaf. He doesn't want to address it. He doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to destroy the dream, perhaps. Here on page 136, Whitechapel acknowledges that he's been wrong. He says, I am wrong in many things. And then he talks, maybe I am wrong to tell the master that my son is gone. So he's regretting betraying his son. And then he recognizes at the bottom here, I have been wrong all of my days. Too much has happened to put it right. He says he would need another life, no, several lives, another 100 years, no more, to unravel this knotted mess. So he is full of regret. He realizes he has been wrong, and he doesn't fully say what he's been wrong in. Obviously here we have it explicitly said about betraying his son, but I guess we can infer, or it's implicit here, is that he perhaps on his deathbed regrets that he has chosen survival over happiness, or chosen compliance over a desire for freedom, perhaps. He reflects here, and there's very metaphorical language that's used, with the master being represented by daylight and the slave as night. But how long can the master's daylight continue to rule our nights? I guess this idea is this question, well, how long can slavery exist? And this is part of why we infer that perhaps he is actually now questioning the system of slavery that he came to accept throughout his 100 years. He's now recognizing that the master cannot hope to rule the day and the night forever. So he's recognizing that this system of slavery, with masters being all powerful, will not last forever. He's seeing the wisdom perhaps in his son's desire for freedom and his great-granddaughters. And then he's pretty much his last coherent thought before he really starts to get heavy and tired and needing rest, and his eyes deaden. He's gradually losing light to darkness. and there's a sense of acceptance of the moment of death. His mouth is pleased to recognize death as a lifelong companion. It's always been there. There's the sharp, jerky sentences here again. He has the sourness in his mouth, but as he has his last thoughts and moments, he's saying, forget. Memory is pain trying to resurrect itself. Pain of all his life that's trying to stay alive. And links again to that title, The Longest Memory. Perhaps it's the pain that helps it stay alive. There's this sense too that even with the death of Whitechapel, the memories of his existence, the tragedy of Chapel and his death and everything that occurred there remains firmly implanted in the hearts and minds of everybody on that plantation. The longest memory. So that's the end of The Longest Memory. I hope you've got some great notes in your analysis table. You've got notes with your quotes, with language techniques, with choices, with tone and vocabulary and all of that stuff, because we're going to start working on essay writing and how we can put that together in paragraphs and make a really good essay starting next week. All right, thanks all.